Okay, we're back for realsies this time. Now that I've figured out what's going on, I accidentally had it set to members. That was my bad. It should be up now. I have a drink, which is great. I've moved my desk around, so today might be a kind of a comedy of errors. We'll try it out. Let's get everything set up here. I hope this is the right chat. That's the real. I think all live streams are the same. I hope. Let's make sure we're public. Monetization is off. That's not right. Hold on a second. What's happening here? Everything got all screwed up. Put these in the right. Yep. Put it on the right playlist. Yep. Okay. We should be good now. We're going to reset this chat, though. Close that. Pop this back out. And then we're going to start drawing some rugbies. There we go. I can see everybody now. Seems normal to me. All right, that's good. So you just describe a character, right? Yeah. So the rules are one sentence. It's your, hopefully your D&D character or Pathfinder, tabletop RPG character, because it needs the race and class from there. And then just no fan art, no fan art, no mimics, no real people. Picture of Bugbear in the thumbnail. He's a goblin in the backpack. The goblin is giving him head pats and he's slightly annoyed. Dang it. Do you mention the character idea you're drawing, or do you just go for it? Yeah, so Chris, I'm drawing stuff suggested by the chat. I have a very long list of people that have been suggesting things since Monday. And then if you want, you can also suggest things in chat. I usually warm up just by drawing Rugby, our little mascot. He's a goblin. So that's what I'm going to draw right now, just to get kind of centered in here. I think I've changed too many things. I'm sitting on one of those exercise balls, and that plus the desk being weird is a little much. So I might have to switch back to my normal chair. Let me know how the audio is. The mic's in a new spot. Might need to adjust that a little bit. Is there a list this time, or do I have to suggest it in chat? There is a list, yeah. There's always a list. If you posted on the community post that I put up on Monday, I have that on the list already. Do the same way every week. What about thick kobolds? Welcome, Corvus. What about thick kobolds? I mean, like, they exist. Goldtooth, you're always welcome to suggest kobolds, but I get to decide how they're drawn, so, you know, buyer beware. Hello. An illithid bard wearing a Robin Hood hat. Plays the flute. That's interesting. It's on the list.
It's a druid.
I am here.
Welcome in, Druid. How are you today?
I'm pretty good.
It's 3 sentences.
Weird.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's it. I'm in a weird mood. That's all. So my plant warm up might be weird.
Gotcha. Yeah, Chris, normally what I do is I remove people's names so I don't have like favoritism. So I just have the suggestions. And I'll roll the dice and then I'll read that suggestion off and then I'll draw that. So people should know what's being drawn. And then I post them in the Discord after the fact so people can snag them. Catfish man with a large spiked club and a baggy jogging pants. Bluish skin. Okay. That works. And hello, welcome in. I'm also assuming since my first time, we can only give one suggestion, so we don't overdo it. That's just correct. Yeah, one per week, and then on Monday we make new lists. So. All right. Oh, I didn't post the link for Druid. Hold on.
I was seeing if I could find how to join in the magma
I'll just send you the link directly.
dashboard.
Right. So I got the stickers today from for the Galoma video, and I shit you not, it's a picture of a mountain that says, hold on, let me read it. I like big skies, and I cannot lie, Montana. So somebody from Montana is about to get some really weird horse demon stickers. So we'll see how that goes.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
No horse.
Shadow, welcome in. Yeah.
Ah,
Okay. I have an entire list of D&D characters, so that's very nice to see. Yeah. I have a big list. Things I want to play and things I want to draw. So it's always good to have a list.
bro, everything.
Of course, hope your birthday went well.
It was alright. I think I may have ate one too many slices of carrot cake,
That'll happen.
and I only had 2. It was a very rich carrot cake.
I don't understand if it was a teeth one. What was the teeth one? The Montana sticker? A little YouTube short I posted about the lava otters, like, popped off yesterday. That was kind of cool.
Nice.
I mean, they're so cute.
Pretty cute. I was gonna make a whole video about them. Now I don't know if I should make it more than a minute. I think I could probably get what I want to say out of it. I also feel like I need to make a joke about it. I need more goof mups before I make it a video. Pretzel Rock is still on the fritz, so we're listening to more Will Savino today. I highly recommend checking them out if you need D&D music for your campaigns or your live streams. Put a link to them down below, I hope. You can be a bard and seduce no one. I know most bards raise the dead and dual wield roleplay with it. I've never played a bard before, so as far as I felt, no urge to seduce anything right now. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't think I've ever played a seductive bard. I've played a. I remember why I don't have my desk this way. I just smacked my elbow into the desk again. I've never played like a seductive bard. I've played like kind of like well, I don't know. Shiva was kind of fun. She was a juggler, and I like to be kind of flirty with her, but I don't think I've ever like rolled to seduce someone. It's always been just silly shenanigans.
Yeah. I feel like you can be like a flirty bard and not fall into the trope of like, I want to sleep with everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like nerd bards. Like, just playing them up as like a liberal arts student, just where they know tidbits of a little bit of everything.
As a former liberal arts student,
You can
I don't.
agree.
No, I don't think most liberal arts students are charismatic enough to pull that off.
I was going to say, I don't think the most of them are smart enough to have lots of trivia. Sorry.
You don't.
That was just being. I know a lot of like biology students that are just wellsprings of completely useless information. Liberal arts students are really good at like pop culture, though. So I would say that's a little different. So maybe it's just the change of defining what type of information you know.
Yeah. It's like, for me, like, using like liberal arts students and biology students, like biology students to me will be like how a wizard would be, like just rattling off kind of needless information that people don't need.
Yeah.
Other than their specific
Oh,
niche area.
So I'm a wizard to you now, am I?
You're a
Maybe.
Potter.
Yep.
True.
You're someone who wanted to be a wizard, but your hopes and dreams were dashed against the rock, so you became a Potter instead.
What are you talking about? I always wanted to be a druid. I always wanted to be a druid.
Let me catch up on chat
And-
here.
yeah.
Don't know if this counts, but I made a villain that sings like a bard, but they aren't one. They're just dramatic. Okay, that's fair. I haven't played a bard either. Instead, I make lots of insane characters and mostly kobolds. I think I have a problem. I mean, you can make all kinds of fun stuff out of kobolds. Kobolds are great. A bard is just an excellent musician with a church organ that he summons from nowhere.
I love that.
I'm a wizard. I love to cast fireball and make things catch on fire. Might just be a pyromaniac. My suggestion is rugby alchemist. Ashy Brown, no fan art, even if it's rugby.
Proceeds to draw lab coat over rugby.
We have drawn a lot of different. Basically, like I draw rugby fan art every week. So
What?
there was a really cool moment in Baldur's Gate, and I don't know if I want to spoil stuff. But it's a really cool topic that I thought we should talk about. And it has to do with what happens to a sorcerer when they enter a anti-magic field.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I love that idea.
Do they just become some schmuck?
Lose all their
All
power and
innocent.
charisma. Hey guys, no, please wait for me.
Yeah, that is an interesting thought.
Bardson
I mean-
from the Adventure Zone is a great example of a non-horny bard. I gotta switch this chair up. Hold on.
But yes, back to my bard and wizard thing. But yeah, I very much see like bards as being like people who know like the pop culture, or maybe a few niche topics, but mostly just general knowledge of things.
Mm.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Because I don't think bards should be idiots, personally.
Well, I mean, I don't think you have to be an idiot to be seductive. So,
Well,
I don't think.
Well,
those
I'm
two
not
things are
referring
exclusive.
to the whole seduction thing. I'm just like, I don't know. To me, like a dumb bard just doesn't make sense to me. 'Cause, like,
Yeah, I definitely I like charisma as a stat, like willpower as a stat.
Mhm.
But I'm sad that they're not more int based. It's really hard to memorize a song, but I don't know. Maybe you can be an idiot and still memorize stuff.
yeah.
So who knows?
Because like,
David,
as far as I
hello.
know, they've always been charisma based.
Yeah. As long as Bard has been around, I'm pretty sure it's been charisma based. But I'm just sad that there's not more of an int component for them. I guess because they have all the lores and stuff like that. Like it's kind of inherent.
Yeah.
But It's fine. Okay, there's my rugby. I think I'm happy with that. Yeah, look at all those smiley faces. I love it. Still don't know how those exist. But we're going to go ahead and get started here.
Oh, you mean you don't see the little heart in the chat thing?
I see them pop up and like float across the chat.
Yeah, so if you're watching the stream, there's like a little heart button. When you
Yeah.
hover over it, it gives a list of like emotes
Gotcha.
that you can like click, and it'll show them in the chat.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have access to that while I'm streaming, apparently.
Yeah.
So. The Himbo Loot Bard. Is the Himbo Loot Bard your suggestion, Hash Brown? The Bard has the horny meme around them, but why is it not also reflective on the Barbarian? Like, he's stupid, so the Paladin is too just, and the Fighter begins too basic. I hear more Bard.
I mean, those.
I mean, I've seen memes of all of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, see more memes about the dumb Barbarian than like horny bards, but
Horny Bards don't really exist anymore because they removed seduction as a playable stat.
Yep. Because it's kind of skeezy.
It's kind of skeezy, yeah. Mechanically, int feels kind of forgotten about if you're not a wizard. Or for season intelligence too.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Goliath Himbo Loot Bard.
I approve of this suggestion.
I don't appreciate the term himbo, but I'll write it
It's
down.
a term of endearment.
I mean,
Legitimately,
But-
like even bimbo has now been like seen as like a term of endearment
It's
now
been
because
reclaimed.
people have changed the meaning for it.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of. There's a lot of language like that I just
That is inherently sexist.
yeah, like the use of, well, I guess I don't care. I'll say it. Like the use of bitch in like the drag community. It's still not doesn't sit right with me. It's like it's just maybe just don't use that. Like it can be used funnily, and so it's like I get that it's not super bad, but like it still comes from a place of vitriol and yeah, I don't know.
The misogyny.
The
Does
misogyny still exists in my mind, then I don't like it.
Yeah. it
So.
does, but I think it's different when depending on who uses it. I think if a certain group decides to adopt it, like the term queer used to be like a term of like hatred, and there's a lot of people in the community who use that term because they have taken it and like removed the hatred from it so they can use it as their term.
That's fair.
So
That's fair. There's a whole slew of conversation you can have about that kind of like transference and stuff. Which is interesting. It's interesting and it's not bad. I'll never rail on somebody for like you can't use words because it's like words are words, but you also need to be polite and tactful and intelligent about how you use them. So
Yeah.
there's definitely
And where you use them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
23. 23 is a flesh warped magus.
nice.
Nice. Yeah. Love it when we get a Pathfinder race or class in
Yeah,
here.
I'm gonna have to put my desk back to exactly how it was before I started today.
I'll just quickly add something about what we were just talking about.
Sure.
If you're not sure what to say, just go with the most polite thing you could possible until someone says otherwise.
Oh yeah, that's 100% good advice.
Yep.
It's like, what's
It
your
doesn't-
name?
It doesn't really hurt you to try to be kind as a default.
Yep, exactly. Yep. It would be fun.
Well, we were
We'll try
taught in
not to do
elementary
much
school.
D&D and burn out. It should be fun. We'll try not to do too much D&D. What?
They're having an overnight D&D tomorrow.
Gotcha. I have played D&D for 14 hours straight once. Like that was fun.
Ugh,
It was fun.
I could not do that.
We took a break for lunch, but otherwise it was pretty epic. Herbo's in the I mean, that's kind of the problem. Is that it's all related to bimbos, like, which I'm not a fan of. So, it's all context, and even then, if it's bad, it's a matter of how you say it. It's still bad. Can't have context. Yeah, like it's fine. Like when gay started being associated with homosexuality when gay was originally meant happy. That's true. Like, yeah, I mean, the way language evolves and grows is really interesting, and I kind of dig it.
Especially in how quickly it can change.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't really need to make a big deal out of this. Like, I don't think Rook made a big deal out of it. Just expressed that the term himbo makes him uncomfortable because it's related to and derived from an inherently sexist thing. So we can move on. I kind of agree with you, Rook, but also think it's a very funny sort of term.
Yeah, that's fine. I will always try to promote. Be kind to each other, people. That's the best thing I can say. Love the thumbnail. Thank you, Dominic. It was a suggestion from last week. The California dude just covers all. Oh, the California dude. Yeah.
Dude.
Does anyone know how to remove set in stains? It depends on what the stain is and what you're removing it from. I would suggest typing both of those things into Google and wishing for the best. Tide pens work pretty well in most cases, as that's what they're designed for. But read the instructions. Don't just assume you know how to use it. So if you wash something that is stained in hot water, you have now dyed that clothes. So best of luck. Okay, how am I going to flesh warp the hell out of this person? I feel like there's not a really uniform thing for the flesh warps.
There's not. And kind of like on purpose there's not.
Yeah.
Which is kind of frustrating.
So yeah, when people suggest flesh warp, it's like what are they flesh warped into? Like spiders? Goats? You just want them to be fucked up? Like,
Yeah. Give them multiple eyes.
Which is kind of a funny thing to hear you kind of say that, Rook, because more often than not, when people give too much or give a lot of information, it's usually too much.
well, it's the same thing with the changelings, though. Because if you just say like, "I want a flesh warp," it's like that's literally anything. Like make man. It's like, okay, I guess. Like I'll draw. Like that's fine, right? Like they're both. It's completely legitimate, but it's just very vague. So that's usually why I ask for the race. You know, I want an elven man. It's like, okay, cool. That's a little bit more. I know they have pointy ears, but flesh warped doesn't have any visual cues. Flesh warped doesn't have any visual language in it. It is just the same as man. It's like that's one point of data. What do I do with it?
I will say, if they added a heritage, then because there's some specific heritages that are like there's like mechanical flesh warps where they're like have like bits of metal kind of fused to them.
Okay.
So that's one thing, but like a lot of them don't have a lot of visual cues, with like exception of the mechanical one and like two others.
I also think that the flesh warp should be a heritage feat in a way that you still pick a race, like drow flesh warped into a drider, right? Or a human flesh warp or a dwarven flesh warp.
I think the rationale for it is I don't actually know if this is true, but this is how I thought of it is you're like specifically born a flesh warp, so like your hair, like your parents' genes kind of just don't matter to that point where it's like your body has been changed so much that you're not recognizable as a elf or human or whatever.
Well, gunslinger with a hat so big that it rests on the end of his snout. I think that's how most kobold hats work. Put it on the list.
Either has to balance on the horns or touch the snoot.
I always like the idea of a paladin or a cleric serving a deity that offers flesh warp enhancements as you level that class up. I mean, that's essentially the hell are they called? That's a good idea. I like it.
I'm really curious what you're trying to think of now.
Stupid Magic the Gathering Vidalkins. There we go.
Oh, the
Like,
Simic hybrids.
Simic hybrids. There we go.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that would be a fun. Like they did the Changeling as a class, which I appreciate. Not the Changeling, the shape
The
shifter, and I think Flesh Warping would be a good class addition for something like that, where it's just kind of like a warlock, but you get body augmentations.
I think there might be like a 1E archetype for shifter, like that's like that.
It wouldn't surprise me.
So no, like shifter is basically just like a martial, wild shaping druid.
Yeah. If you go the shifter race, you're essentially like a chimera were creature, which is kind of neat. But yep, here we go. Going Mothman. I've decided. We're drawing Arthur Mothman.
So you say Mothman, I'm kind of getting the Fly vibes.
Well, Arthur Mothman is the sidekick from the Tick.
Yeah.
So different Mothman than what you were thinking of.
Well, yeah, but like when I looked at the screen where Rick hadn't drawn, the screen hadn't update where Rick drew in the other round eye.
Oh yeah.
So it was like, it's like, oh, the fly.
Oh, Jeff Goldblum. So good. I always like the idea. Oh yeah, we wrote that. If imagine a paladin and you run into a problem, you would, let's say, need an extra pair of hands. Bam, next level, extra set of hands. I think that's the alchemist essentially, the mutagen alchemist. You do that.
I will say there is like a change domain in second edition that theoretically you could like flavor some of those things as getting weird body mods.
You just need to bust out the Cyberpunk Red. Just use that book in D&D.
The closest to a flesh warp like shifter I can see is a ooze morph.
Interesting.
Where you can like their first ability is you get the compression feat of all oozes, which is disturbing.
So a Goliath to go from a Mountainkin to a Shokan? Is that like the forearm people from Street Fighter? I don't remember what they're called. After the green works really well constructing anatomy monsters. Like, badass. Pretty good druid.
Thanks. I'm really happy with the pose. It just kind of happened. And I'm sure that if I try to duplicate it, I'll never find it again.
Gotta go with the flow.
I'm having fun playing with the sort of swamp thing creature format.
Yeah.
Although I guess it's kind of also the Venom creature format, just plant themed.
Telling you, Man Thing's the best way to go.
That of course you like Man Thing better with the mask.
He doesn't have a mask. I guess he kind of has a mask. His face is weird. His face is definitely weird.
Yeah, he's talking about another fly person. It's definitely got a like bug-esque proboscis thing going on.
His ability is that if he makes you afraid of him, he burns you to death.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. One of those catch-22 things.
Weird.
Yeah, the Mortal Kombat guys. All right, cool. How can I make this look more like a moth? Big old noodle. No. I hate whatever I've done here.
Yeah, don't add to proboscis.
But how is he gonna get all the nectar?
Not all moths eat nectar?
Some of them eat meat.
Some of them eat poop. Anyway, basically, to make it look more like a moth, give it more of an owl face.
Yep.
With
Or to
bigger
make it more
eyes.
flesh-worthy, add more eyes.
Yeah.
I have discovered that I have a hatred for multiple eyes that don't anatomically make sense.
Yeah, same.
I remember you telling me this, and I was like, "Did you just like, okay."
That's a really cool picture. I just saw that. Sorry. Oh, Palman, I'm sorry to hear that. Did you? Was it from the meat you made yesterday? Did you not cook the meat, or did you burn yourself? I hope that was unrelated. You know, so there's a like they did this in speaking of cyberpunk. They'll do this thing where they'll draw like a normal person face, which this is going to be really fast and dirty, but it doesn't matter. They're just like, "Hey, I'm a person." You're like, "Great, that looks fine." And they're like, "And then I'm going to add another eyeball here and here," and it's like, "What?" Like that's right through the skull. Like you need to give that an eye socket.
Yep.
And this an eye socket, and this an eye socket. And but they're like, no. We'll just put another eyeball like right on the cheekbone. And it's just like that's not how anything works. What are you doing? Or in the middle of the forehead when they're just like it just opens up. It's like what?
Yeah.
What's
that
happening?
That bothers me a lot.
I don't know what it is, but that irks me.
So no Hindu art for you then.
Like I'm fine if it's a tattoo or like it's not the multiple eyes that bothers me. It's just like the disregard for anatomy that bothers me about it.
So I feel like since they're flesh shapes, I feel like you can disregard anatomy because it's just
No, because look, they're still people. They still have a
They're still
structure.
there.
It's just twisted and warped. So, like, you still have to figure out what the bone do. Otherwise, it looks like you've just painted something on a person.
It's the same thing with like when you give people more arms than one. Cough cough druid. That you were just working on. When you're just like, yeah, you got more arms right here, coming right out of the obliques, and it's like those arms are just gonna be floppy. Like they're just gonna flop. Like they're completely useless. So you have to give them muscle structure too, which I think you did a good job of like blending it into the side, so it's fine. And like Tien from Dragon Ball Z is like the bare minimum of functional to me because it's so cartoony. Like it just doesn't matter at that point. But Tien shouldn't be able to close his eye and the eye disappear. That's my biggest beef. My biggest beef. So that's it. That's all. That's my rant for the day. I think I'm gonna move to the next one.
Yep, same. What am I rolling?
D20 and a D6.
And a D6?
Yeah.
Cool. 21.
Deer themed female shifter, forest druid, long hair.
All right.
I think the lore reason is the fact that people prefer cool over functional. I mean, yeah, that's totally why it is. And like I said, I like the idea of multiple eyes. I just think it should fundamentally augment the face, which would make it way more terrifying. Which is why I don't usually draw people with multiple eyes, because it's too hard to try to figure out. Does a bipedal creature with 4 arms have 4 shoulder blades? I would think so, yeah.
They should.
They should.
If they don't have a shoulder blade on the back, they need some other bone sort of structure to anchor the half of the humerus that sockets into the ball and socket joint.
Otherwise, like, there are examples of creatures more like insects where they don't have shoulder blades, but the range at which their arms move is limited. Or like crabs, right?
Yeah.
Their little mouth
Yeah.
biters only have pull. That's all they have. They're not hyperdexterous. So it just depends on what you want the limb to do. And so, like, when you have really, really low functional eyes, like compound eyes that don't need to rotate, you can slap them everywhere. You can have 1,000 of them.
Yeah. And bugs do, actually.
Yeah.
Most bugs have 3 tiny compound eyes on the top of their head that are like so primitive they only detect light and shadow, basically. Basically those are the eyes that a fly uses to tell when you're about to swat it.
Yep.
But people don't have that. We've got internal bones, not external ones.
Cyberpunk actively has armor that are highly functional but are dropped because someone wants to wear a suit in combat. Oh, like a ballistic, like, business suit? The wrong dice. 12. A blue dragonborn draconic sorcerer with blue dragon lineage. Okay. And a tail, using his electric breath weapon. Who is using his electric breath weapon? I can try something like that. I usually don't like suggested poses. It's kind of limiting, but I'm going to draw this one blue just because it makes more sense. And then we'll do the color for the next one. Wonder if playing an insect race would add a race attribute for a type of insect you're generally at. Sorry, Monica, hold on. Let me try to read this again. If you're playing an insect race, would you add a race attribute for a type of insect you are, or a general attribute like dexterity because of multiple limbs? Yeah, it would depend on the bug, because like not all bugs are going to be super strong. You might have a higher carry capacity, but like flies don't. Flies are just flies.
Yeah.
So it really depends. What about multi-pupil eyes, like the fly eyes? Those are compound eyes. It'd be an interesting idea if someone had like 2 or 3 pupils that has proficiency in perception. That wouldn't particularly do anything. You still have the same amount of retina, so it would just be 2 eyeballs in the same socket, which I think would be weird. Yeah, I don't know if that would give you multiple perceptions.
Yeah. And like in for most types of eyes, I think bird eyes are generally the exception. It's not so much the eye hardware; it's the brain interpreting software that's important.
Yeah, and even what are they called? Mantis shrimp, who have like the best, most colors. They can see the most colors.
The most colors by far, yeah.
Their eyes still aren't like. Well, they have much better eyes than us. They have different eyes than us. Like they're very designed for different purposes. So
yeah.
I hope Corvus didn't get mad because I was trash talking eyes. I know Corvus likes multi-eyed people. This whole thing came up because I was watching a YouTube animation, and one of their characters had like, they were just talking, and then they opened up like 5 more sets of eyes on their face, and I was just like, what the fuck is this? What's going on? I do like that idea, like creatures like split down the sides, and there's just like a whole bunch of eyes, Pacific Rim style. That looks really cool. Doesn't make a lot of sense though. I don't know what a blue dragon looks like now that I'm thinking about If a homebrew race for moth people, is there somewhere I could send the link? If not, I'll chill. I mean, you can share it with the D&D chat if you want in the Discord.
Yeah, D&D and homebrew.
Yeah, D&D and homebrew. Dragons have something like that, but they are lids mostly. Yeah, dragons have multiple, like the ability to see magic and stuff. But it is an eyelid, like a covering. Mothman. One set of device has dark visions, the other has true sight. Yeah, I'm down with multiple eyes. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm totally fine with that.
They just have to make sense structurally. That's all.
I would prefer it. That's really all I'm saying. It's like I'd love to see how you would adjust the skull to have multiple eyes.
The way I usually do it with my plant monsters, and I think plant monsters are the only ones that I actually tend to get away with it well, is like I'll do like a normal sort of skull, and then like I'll put what is basically a second smaller skull, at least the top part of one.
Just like a whole other head.
yeah, like
Okay. That's pretty cool.
a half form head, just kind of like stuck at the bridge of the nose. So let's see.
That's a cool idea. I like that.
So I'll put one eye socket here. And then a second one basically kind of above it. And I just have to make sure that I maintain a brow ridge in between them. But like the biggest thing that I do to I think get away with the multiple eye sockets thing is I mean, keeping track of the bones that go in between them is one thing for sure, but like
that's cool.
Instead of thinking of just having multiple eyes, think about adding other bits of the face around the eye as well to make sure that it feels like it actually legit belongs there.
I think the good chunk to think about there is like do you need eyebrows on that eye? Do you not need eyebrows on that eye? You're still gonna have eyelids. Like there still needs to be concavities. Like where is that? So yeah, designing the skull around that is kind of interesting.
But like figuring this sort of stuff out is definitely easier if you know a little bit of anatomy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We kind of went really rabbit hole there. I like this kind of concept where it's like the eye socket elongates. But if you do this, like, yeah, you'd only really have eyebrows up here.
Yeah. Which would work, but like, I mean...
Doesn't look human anymore.
Nope.
So no Doctor Strange third eye. Doctor Strange third eye was funny. Like, not like funny haha, but just like I did not expect it. But once again, I think it looks cool. I think it can absolutely look cool. I just would like to see more thought on the anatomy of it as a interesting thing. Because yeah, a lot of time it is just slapped on for aesthetics. It's like, all right, cool, whatever. There was an old horror movie. I can't remember what it was called. The Hole, something like that. He gets a weird eye on his hand. That was freaky. That was freaky, and I liked it. It was good. There's a theory that geckos can control their pupils into multiple pinholes to mimic the effects of multiple eyes, allowing one eye to achieve better depth perception. Interesting. Army of Darkness or Evil Dead, maybe? I don't know. Maybe. We might have done that too. Since when were bug people supposed to look human? Never? We weren't talking about bug people. Bug people eyes look fine. You can put as many of those as you want anywhere.
Yeah, just slap more compound eyes where it feels like it makes sense.
Yep. Maybe that's a better way to look at the flesh warp. It's just like that's kind of why I want the prompt. It's just like, what do you want it to be flesh warped into? Because then, like, yeah, if it's a bug, awesome. But if it's like, I don't know, smorgasbord of everything, it gets really confusing to draw. But maybe that's the intent. I don't know.
I try to make my bug people look only as person-like as I need to in order to make them like roughly bipedal.
Yeah, that's fair. Did you watch the See Frank video that came out this morning?
Not yet.
I won't spoil it then. There's some weird bugs out there. That's all I'm saying.
Indeed, there are. I've been waiting for him to do more Creepy Dave shorts.
I still think I've seen Creepy Dave. You're talking about Creepy Dave. How it reminded me of NoHo Hank from Barry.
Yeah, yeah.
They'll know what blue dragons look like. Hold on a second. Let me see if I'm missing something. I just realized how middle of the page I am right now. Oh my gosh. Ooh, they got weird unicorn horns. Okay. We can change that up. The way I would stat out an insect race would. What would an undead bug person play like? I'm a little confused, Cosmic. You would stat out a bug race to look human? Something like you get to choose size, moment, and style, and one passive. I mean, that's kind of kind of how all creature creation or player creation works, isn't it? I would start with the Thri-kreen or the Trox, and just you could then fiddle around all you want with that. Like, they both have multiple limbs of varying degrees. Thri-kreen circle the spore druid. That'd be really cool. Is that your suggestion this week, or? Controlled by the spores. Yeah. The ants. I feel like I screwed this up. A good dragonborn sorcerer doesn't have to be super bulky. Bear cleric again this week. Gotcha. We started talking about it and then we lost track. What happens when a sorcerer gets put into
oh yeah,
a anti-magic field?
Depends on how mean your GM is. Obviously, they get to continue living.
Sure. Yeah, that goes back to the whole, like, if you cast Control Flame on a Ifrit or pour water on it, what happens to them? It's like, well, the fire goes out, and then they just turn it back on. Wouldn't the sorcerer just be like a dude at that point? I think so.
Yeah.
I think as long as they're in that field, like, whatever they're... But I mean, like, bloodlines, magical bloodlines for wizards, maybe the same? I don't know. Interesting idea.
I feel like it's not actually likely to change that much. It's probably not going to do too much to them, because if their bloodline causes some sort of physical attribute, that's probably not going to just disappear.
Well, so this goes back to, and this is something else I've talked about before with other people. Like, should a sorcerer use Constitution for their casting stat? Because it's inherently, like, in their body. So if what happens when you put an elemental in an anti-magic field? Does it, like, does it just lose its cohesion until it leaves the field? Is your soul holding your body together? Is magic holding your body together? It's a lot of weird metaphysics you can kind of play with.
Right.
Any magical individual will just be a basic Joe of the anti-magic field. I guess so. Because I mean, like, so, like, yeah, let's say you're a sorcerer and you can cast Burning Hands at will. Is that a mechanical reflex, or is it a coalition of magic? Are you still summoning magic to do it? Because Because it's a spell-like ability. I think that's the thing that like makes the difference. How do
Right.
spell-like abilities work?
It was always my understanding, at least in first edition Pathfinder, that a spell-like ability was it's still functionally what is magic. They call it a spell-like ability because it's magic that does not use spell slots, basically. Was my understanding.
But still affected.
Don't know how that has changed over the years, though.
That's fair. I agree that sorcerers should be Constitution casters and be able to upcast as long as they can afford the HP cost. Yeah. I like the HP caster. And definitely from a balancing standpoint, it's really tough. I get that. Because like being able to just only stack Constitution is good for everybody. Like,
yeah.
But if you're also having to spend it, then that does make a difference. I've moved into the thick pen mode. I do not need detail, I just need volume.
Hey, that's where I always start.
I kind of devolve into it. It works. It's not bad.
It's kind of a fun place to be.
Yeah.
I guess unless you are trying to get fine, detailed lines.
So I'm trying to get to a point where I don't need fine detailed lines. Came a bit late today, says there's supposed to be no music. There's no music? Oh, man. I've been sitting here listening to music by myself this whole time. Yep. Mm-hmm. Let me see if I can fix that. That's weird. It should be playing. It looks like it broke. Okay, I guess we'll just remove it. Yep. Oop. Test, test, test. That's not good. Hmm. Okay, well, we will delete that again. What the hell? There we go. I don't know what happened there. It's back now, though. Got the mystical music back. All right. The tunes. Thank you for bringing that up, Elder. I always wondered about Dragonborns if they were colors not common for Dragonborns. Have their elements be like purple, amethyst, maybe even white, glass green. There are a bunch of random ones. You can also make a bunch up.
Yeah.
I think I'm about done with this bad boy. I'm not sure what else to do with him. So just get stuff in the way. Gem dragons, I think. Yeah, there's gem dragons. Pathfinder's just created a whole bunch of new dragons, which is kind of neat. Because they're trying to branch away from D&D. 25 is not on the list, so that becomes 1. A massive, joyous elk barbarian. Wearing a Hawaiian shirt. Right? Elk barbarian, huh? We're doing red this time. And the poll. Elk barbarian. I feel like I've drawn a couple of elk barbarians. I just need to like figure out what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah. To get moose barbarians all the time.
Yeah. Long cows. That's not something I needed in my brain. Hope Corvus is okay.
Yeah, same.
Vanished real fast. Acapella stream.
I'm not singing for you. Sorry, chat.
Like, how often do elk horns break? They're pretty tough, and they regrow, right? Regrow every year?
Yeah, yeah, like most other deer-like species, they shed every year.
What does a Hawaiian t-shirt look like?
Oof, I did not think about this hand.
Oh, ow! Just whacked my ankle on the chair. All right.
You're making me a little bit worried about your office setup.
Yeah, I screwed it up this morning. I'm gonna have to put it back together. I'm also realizing that, like, this is a better place for my mic, but like, everything else is kind of weird. I can also read chat a lot better because I have my mic or my second monitor behind my tablet, which is great. But now everything else is weird. I had an idea for Dragonborn based on emotions or concepts rather than elements, though I don't think having emotions or figments folk would be interesting on their own. Yeah, I mean, I think the elements are pretty nice because they are like they have a physical manifestation. Like, that's the big thing. But if you're just like, I'm a sad dragon, it's like, what does that look like? Like, maybe using the inside out rules or something to that effect. But at the end of the day, you'd still have like the rage dragon and have fire, so you can still kind of use the base ideas there without reinventing the wheel. You could definitely also just link the dragons that exist to elements that you like, give them different abilities or something without having to like restat them or anything.
Yeah.
Green dragons are envy dragons. Something like that. Elden Dragonborns. Yeah, you can do that. Oh, Hawaiian shirts. What's the cloth called? Rib. Say rayon. That's not right. Maybe it is.
Polyester?
There's like a specific type of fiber that a lot of Hawaiian shirts are made out of.
It could be rayon. Rayon is a specific type of fiber.
Yeah.
Synthetic.
Going in concept, what would a surrealism dragon be? Exactly. Like, that's kind of the problem. Like, if they don't have a physical connection, like, I'm not sure. Then it's just a concept dragon. That'd be a little weird. I'm a ghost. I think the idea of Dragonborn automation where their element is dictated by what power core you're given. Yeah, you can do that. You can do like a Warforged dragon. I like that idea. Powered by dragon hearts.
Dark.
Yep. Esca Flores. I hate that song. So good. It's good. Prove to us that you are a prince by slaying a dragon. It's like, you gotta lose a lot of princes that way.
I haven't thought about that cartoon series in years.
Man, swords and giant robots, I was all in. I never got a chance to watch the whole thing. It was only on TV for a little while, and they like super censored it and then just removed it. So I was like,
Yeah, I don't think it actually ever, like, finished.
I don't know.
I remember trying to catch up and, like, finish the story years ago, and it,
Dragon's Age.
yeah, like, I think it got canceled before they actually got anywhere.
To me, once you've created too many modifiers on one race, it becomes a little too Mary Sue-ish. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Cosmic, there's definitely, like, there's a reason that balancing is important. You might want to look into, like, the race points in 3.5 or Pathfinder, so you kind of know, like, what power level a creature can be before you kind of overdo it.
Yeah, I still look at that system all the time. I think it's really well done, well thought through.
Yeah.
And I find myself constantly wishing that D&D and Second Edition Pathfinder had that level of
Dragons are a strange concept. Elements reflecting their natural affinity. I mean, isn't that how they are normally? Black dragons
depends
are
on
justice. I have not. Okay, so maybe not. Maybe that's not the way it is. Black dragons in D&D, the personification of hate and greed. Death and destruction. I'm a little lost. I'm a little lost with this sketch.
I think I'm done with mine.
It doesn't look very bright. It looks like an elk wearing a shirt, is what I've done. I think I'm going to retry this. I'm going to retry this one. There's this Korean manga where the guy summoned a dragon on a beach, but also the dragon pursues? I don't understand that sentence there. Moniker, sorry.
I rolled a 4.
4. An astral-themed Alhoon. Mind Flayer Lich. Oh, it's a dead mind. Yeah, okay.
Oh.
Mind Flayer. Wizard with a
Undead.
sphere of annihilation floating between his two tentacle-like horns. Alright. Mind Flayer, Alhoon. Wizard. Da, 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 da. Doing Valor for my system, so it's very anime. Alright. Get into a dragon for each biome. Yeah, you can do that. Dragon of the rainforest spews vines. Yeah, you can really build whatever you want with dragons. I like the idea of like a life breath. That'd be pretty cool. I think from Princess Mononoke, just aura of life. As evade the chromatic just means evil. Yeah, I mean 5e is kind of lazy in that respect, but also we're kind of moving away from the whole alignment chart, so I don't think it matters anymore. Imagine a feathered dragon. Yep, they exist. They exist. I like the kind of poofy, floofy dragons. This guy's looking super beef, but I don't know what to do with him. I will eat the lilies. They will be delicious. It's a moose again. Do elk eat lilies? Are elk aquatic or just moose?
I think just moose. I don't know if elk have any specific dietary preferences.
Jungle dragons can breathe insects. Would an island or beach dragon breathe sand or waves? I mean, there is both a sand breath and a, I think, sea foam breath. Is that what it was? I've read both of those, so you could do either one.
Yeah, salt.
Salt's
Salt breath,
another
I
good
think?
one. Yeah, it was a salt
Yeah.
breath. Bless you.
Thanks.
Sure if you coughed or ate your mic there.
It was a cough and a sneeze, and I tried to turn away, but it came on very suddenly, and I did not have a chance to mute, so I apologize for all of your ear holes.
What kind of hair would a barbarian moose have? Barbarian elk.
I don't know. Elk have kind of a lot of extra, like, thick, dense fur around their neck, right?
Do they? Yeah, I guess so. Try to poof
Not,
them up.
yeah, not quite a mane, but
This looks like a guy wearing a elk trophy thing. Making it a little bulky. A mohawk. Orc is absolutely terrifying. Orcas are terrifying. Elk is a deer on steroid. Bull moose is elk on steroids and protein powder. Gotcha. What if we give him like a big old bunch of lays? That could be fun. Item reader field, here we come. I feel like I did these horns. Not great. Maybe go cartoony on the horns. I'm going slow today. Slow drawing day.
I'm trying to go fast. I don't think I am going particularly faster than I usually am, but am being quieter, which is probably not helpful for the stream.
Salt breath makes me think that there should be periodic dragons. Well, phosphorus dragon? I mean, yeah, you could do that. It's kind of what the metallic dragons are, aren't they? The other question is, like, what is an element versus a... an element versus, like... So the Rage of Elements book just came out for Pathfinder 2nd, and they have this whole thing where they're talking about, like, why there are wood and metal dragons now, and like elemental planes of metal, because it's like they all kind of blend together and make stuff. So whether or not you want to use elements as, like, you know, Captain Planet style, maybe you have a heart dragon, or if you want to use the periodic table, I think both are viable. It's just they kind of have a different vibe. Because you don't want to be like, I'm a copper dragon, and then be like, I am the dragon of heart. And it's like, okay. These two things don't go together.
I'm the dragon of refined plutonium.
Yeah, exactly. Radiant breath weapons for platinum dragons. That could be cool. Yep. Free the arsenic. Because, I mean, essentially, you could do that right now as is, and you would just, like, all of the dragons that are acidic, right? They're just black dragons. That's it. And then you just flavor them for the whatever you want to do. So like, oh, they spit acid. Well, there's a lot of different kinds of acid out there. So lots of different flavors of acid that you can put.
Yeah. One of my regular players got very enamored with the idea and now constantly insists that your stereotypical green dragon has specifically a chlorine gas breath weapon.
That's the thing. Does radioactivity exist in D&D? It does. It causes the sickening trait. Or poisoned trait, I believe. A world where magic exists, radiation, I don't think is a problem.
At the very least, not nearly as big of a problem.
Yeah, it's like it's not as impressive or destructive as magic. So poisoned, wouldn't that be with a poison? Everything can poison you. So really what you're talking about is toxicity. Everything is toxic. It's just all about amounts. There are types of poisons, but you can be poisoned with pretty much anything. Organic, inorganic. Minerals leaking into stuff.
Drinking too much water.
Yeah.
Spending too long in too high concentration oxygen.
Staying in the sun too long.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is toxic, so there shouldn't be poison or acid resistance. That's fair. I think poison resistance is the stupidest of the resistances that exist. Because that is not specific enough. And that's why we have the problem of like, oh, you're immune to being drunk. It's like, yep. Per the rules, that is true. That's how that works. I know what I've done wrong here. Head too small. Bigger moose. Yep, that helps. That helps a lot. I think I'm gonna. I don't know what else I'm gonna do with this one. I think I'm done here. I'm gonna adjust the horns a little bit. And then I'm gonna draw the next one. I need to draw more animals. Drawing animals is awesome.
Yeah, and it's much lower stakes,
Yep.
which is nice.
I was gonna say, how did I roll a 9 on a d6? That's not right. A black pudding who's gained sentience through my falling into a mind flare brine pool, and he is an aberrant mind sorcerer. Okay. Ooh, that's creepy. Like a black pudding filled with mind flayer goo larva. What is a poison defined by? Because we have a decent idea of what poison is meant. I would imagine a dragonborn would be just burp fire when drinking alcohol. I mean, yeah, you'd be burping something. So there's two ways to have fire. Two ways I've seen, right? Dragons either are full of fire, like their insides are fire, and they vomit fire, or they like have a sac that produces something that causes flames. Like those are two ways to look at it. So,
like bombardier beetles.
Like bombardier beetles, yeah. So you could definitely go. We got blue again. That's fine. We'll just end the poll and start over. Yeah, depends on which kind of dragon you're doing. Because like if you get eaten by a dragon that's full of fire, I think you just die. I think that would be the same as getting dipped in lava.
Yeah. Agreed. 20d6 damage per round.
Yep.
It is so much fun as a GM to roll that many d6s.
It is.
Watch the abject terror on your players' faces as they realize that they done fucked up.
The lead dragon gives a hug to a smaller uranium dragon. Does it cause fusion? Are they made completely out of these materials? Like 100% pure those materials? Because then I think a lot of the potassium dragons would just explode. Yeah, that works. I like the Temper cloud method for producing flammable materials, igniting it by grinding their teeth. That's pretty cool. I don't know what black puddings look like. Just gonna make a really dark colored slime. We are still doing the super chat draw an otter. So if anybody would like to throw some super chat at me, you can suggest an otter. I will draw it. Those can be a lot more vague than, or more directed than the viewer suggestions. An otter folk? Yeah. Well, I mean, you can be an otter or an otter folk. I don't care. The whole packet of fox golden creams, and I have no regrets. I don't know what that is. Throw a sodium dragon into a pond, and it's gonna. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so is the sodium dragon made completely out of sodium? Like, is a platinum dragon made out of platinum? Iron dragon made out of completely iron? It's interesting.
Is a red dragon made only out of red?
Yeah. Which pigment are we talking about here? Mr. Red had a video that said dragons had a core that oozes elemental energy throughout their bodies, allowing them to fly with large bodies. Interesting.
Okay, great, but is that actual accepted canonical lore, or is that his headcanon? I almost said, did he pull that out of his ass, which is probably not respectful, so I changed it. Like, a lot of people have a lot of different kind of thoughts, ideas. Like, it ultimately, it doesn't really matter. I don't.
Yeah.
Especially with 5e, I'm pretty sure they didn't actually. They very intentionally didn't fill out a lot of this stuff so that you can fill in what makes the most sense for your game.
Which I think is good.
I agree.
You can't get too hung up on like dragon lore. I really like the first few games I ever played with like a big party. The DM at the time had us like dealing with dragons all the time, and he just made his own shit up, and I loved it. And then when I started playing D&D again, I was like, oh no, I like it the other way. And so a lot of my dragon lore is just it's someone else's headcanon.
Same.
I appreciate it. So
at this point, I very specifically don't care for the way that chromatic and metallic dragons are kind of like thought of and organized.
Aren't you a never 5-year again? Like
pretty much. I've got one ongoing game. I'm never going to run 5e again. I don't think.
It's weird but delicious. Okay, like a vanilla Oreo or something. We need an osmium dragon. It's the only metallic dragon that's blue. Blue's a weird color, right? Like, what? Something burns blue. Can't remember what it is. Copper burns green.
Let's see. Lithium? Titanium burns extremely white.
Oh, propane burns blue.
What was that?
I said propane burns blue.
Propane burns blue. Hydrogen burns blue.
Cobalt? It might be cobalt.
Cobalt makes very blue glass and glazes. But cobalt, when in a carbonate form mixed with... When it's basically oxidized with carbon. Cobalt carbonate is this weird kind of fuchsia purple color. Iridium is interesting. It's got bright kind of pinkish mauve salts.
Salts? What do you mean it's got salts?
Well,
like
salts. Every salt is a metal mixed with a non-metal. It's a
yeah, okay.
Acid and a base, right? So the
I forgot about that.
Yeah. So iridium
salt
makes a couple of interesting salts with other when mixed with things from the other side of the periodic table. One of them is pinkish mauvish.
Lead dragon, I can imagine super low damage, but does constitution damage. See, once again, like it would technically just be a poison.
Yeah, and lead poisoning.
It's a neurological thing. So
Yeah, it happens very slowly, actually.
it is more pronounced during development. Okay. Now, just to mess with people, mind flayer tadpoles. Do not get touched by this thing. They're just hanging out, swimming around, you know, whatever. Hello, I'd like to swim in your brain. Quick, somebody else give me some weird information about black puddings that I can add to this picture.
They dissolve metal, right?
Maybe more red then. So Santas are formed? Realizing antlers. Yeah. Giant amoebas, that's right.
Yeah, they're giant amoebas, and I think that they're the only kind of oozes or slimes that that eat and damage metal and wooden weapons and armor. So they're also a little rust monster in that regard.
I thought there was... Maybe it is the black pudding. I thought there was another thing that specifically only ate metal. Maybe that's Pathfinder, though.
What's a 7 get me?
7. Male wizard who took levels in fighter so he can defend himself. I think that's Bry. Could be wrong. I still want to draw a stir wizard one of these days. But the dice gods have teams that you draw.
Apparently.
I think I'm done with this black pudding too.
Cool.
Blah, blah, blah.
I think that this one might have to be my last one. My back's kind of
That's okay.
killing me. So,
There's something that... Is it the Chew Jelly? No, Chew Jelly is Legend of Zelda. Which is the one that when you attack it with slashing, it turns into 2 oozes?
that's most oozes.
Ochre jellies. That's what I was thinking. I think ochre jellies dissolve weapons. Or maybe it's acidic slime. That's a Magic the Gathering card. I don't know anything. I also rolled a 14. Wait, I rolled a 14 last time, I think. Doesn't matter. A male beast, master, ranger, kobold, whose beast companion is a hyena. What color are we doing here? Water. That's still blue. A lot of people like blue today. Posture check. Thank you, Elvin Hair. I appreciate that. Back is now straight. Okay, kobold. Interesting side note. Slime molds aren't molds. They're colonies of amoebas that display primitive sentience. Interesting. I don't know if I agree with that sentience part, but I think they're more based around machine learning. But maybe that's all sentience is. I don't know. I need a drink. I haven't drinking anything in a while.
That's not good. I've got some nice, cool peppermint tea.
I need some beef jerky. That's what I need. I'm trying to eat healthier. Which I think I've been doing a good job of that. But,
Good.
I just don't feel like I'm eating enough meat. What am I listening to? Okay. Sentience is defined as acting beyond the limits of physical stimulus. Interesting. Does that mean... Now that just brings up more questions. Slime molds are making emotional decisions? Uh-oh, what's happening? Oop, everything froze. There we go. Albino tiefling shadow monk street boxer? What is a cocktail expression? I don't know what that means.
Cocktail expression?
I'll put it on the list. I just don't know what a cocktail expression
I had no idea. I have never heard that before.
I had like a really tiny energy drink thing, like a caffeinated tea.
Not like a 5-hour energy drink.
Correct. Yeah, it was like a ooh, natural energy boost drink. I'm like, sweet. I had that like 2 days ago, and I did not sleep yesterday. I just like it did freaking wreck me. I cannot. I like the way I feel during the day, and then I just can't sleep. I guess I'm still on no caffeine kick. Probably forever. I might try with like coffee or something. Maybe I'll have like start with coffee. Should I make pizza today? That's the question. I have a bunch of tofu I need to cook. I can also make chicken adobo again, because I haven't done that yet this week. So many options.
And apparently we are now at the food portion of the stream.
Well, you're about to leave, so I gotta talk to somebody about food. So. We refuse
I'll
to
still
work
hang
on
out. I'm still gonna hang out. I'm just not gonna be drawing probably.
That's fair. I've been commissioned to draw an entire troupe of musician kobolds. So that's going to be a project over the next few weeks. I got to figure out how I want to draw kobolds. It's like, Chunky Boys is pretty funny. But it might be hard to draw them with instruments. So I'm gonna have to do a day of drawing kobolds again, which I'm sure people will like.
It has been a while since you've done that on stream.
I used to get a lot of kobold commissions.
Yeah.
Drawn quite a few of them. How do you feel about furred dragons? Yeah, I like them. I've drawn quite a few. 6
Like a dragon is fundamentally a chimera sort of creature, right? So it's not supposed to be just a giant lizard. It's supposed to be a giant lizard with wings or a giant lizard with something, and depending on which lore you're pulling from, it could have a mane, it could have feathered wings, it could have a beak instead of a toothy maw, it could have all sorts of different stuff. So it really doesn't matter. It just
Yep, I like that. That's a good way to think about it.
just have fun and make it cool.
This is the other problem with drawing them really like cutesy and stupid. It's like I don't know what to do now. He's just got the coat. He's just got a coat on. What if the dragon was half horse and half corn? Would that be a unicorn, or would it be a unidragoncorn? Or like a, or would it be like a horse dragon on a cob? How are you doing, Skittle? Just shout out real quick. Actually, do you want to shout out to your Twitch or your YouTube?
That's a good question. Yeah. I have no idea how Twitch is doing right now. How many people are jumping ship?
That's true. Skittles' YouTube channel is kicking my butt with 9 videos. Very impressive, sir. Go check out Skittle stuff. Amazing hidden cat faces in beautiful landscape art. Isn't it a monster in Warhammer Fantasy? Maybe. They're awesome. Lizard, hello, hello. That channel's pretty dead. Hey, it's got a lot of subscribers. I'm jelly. We're on our way. I'm gonna give him a big old backpack. Can you help me get to my friend? Sporrocks are pretty great. Dragon ogres? Interesting. How you been, Skittle? I hope you're doing well. There used to be a dragon centaur race in D&D 2nd and 3rd. It still exists in 5e? I don't know. Are you talking about like the dragonkin that are like dragons on the top but have 4 legs? All right. We'll give him a bow. We'll give him a bow sticking out of his backpack since he was supposed to be a ranger and I just kind of went off the rails. The music is really loud for me. I'm going to turn the music down a little bit. Well, that's not good. That's not good at all. There are two different musics playing in the background. What is happening? Oh! I went to Blue Skittles channel, and it was playing one of your videos. That's better. Okay, I can that's pretty good so far. That's good. Hope your art's going well. If you have anything you'd like to share, or you want to share like a Instagram link or something, feel free. Also, if you'd like to suggest a character be drawn, you're very welcome to do that as well. We really should do another like themed day. Maybe we'll do that next week, where we do like Final Fantasy characters or robot characters or something. I think we did Cyberpunk once, and we did Final Fantasy once. So I don't know what the next one would be. Probably need to do a poll for that. What kind of things would people like to see?
Otter folk only. Just kidding. Fan art day? No.
Ever type something that doesn't make sense? Know that it's due to my fat ass thumbs and lack of proofreading. I feel that. One orc I fought before was so stupid they couldn't speak. Okay, that's weird. Hand crossbow and a scimitar? Scimitar? Maybe you can put a scimitar on here somewhere. Go with that. Mind players eat brains for the intelligence or for the complex fats that are close to powder?
Yes.
Okay. Mind players need to eat minds as a good source. They eat them for the psychic energy. That's what I thought. I thought they ate the energy. Disney Kingdom Hearts Day. That would be rough because I'd have to draw a lot of buckles.
Yeah, look, I love Kingdom Hearts. That is not a fast or easy style to draw in.
So you gotta draw baggy pants, big boots.
Everything is a hoodie. Every shirt is a hoodie.
Yep, every shirt is a hoodie, and then there's a big heart missing in the middle. Right? Then you're done. Kingdom Hearts Day. Alright, I think I'm done with this couple. Let's go to the next one.
I miss doing Frazetta Fridays.
Frazetta Friday was fun. 16.
I also realize that logistically it's kind of difficult because there's not a lot of his stuff that we can actually like copy because it's all kind of risque. So it's probably not going to happen, but yeah.
That logic wouldn't a meal with high fat content feed a mind flayer. Any meal. Undertale characters. I don't know if I'm versed enough with the Undertale style, but
yeah, me neither. I have a really hard time like converting anything cartoony into my style, and it gets worse if we go into 8-bit territory.
An illithid bard wearing a Robin Hood hat. They would wear simple tunic with green coloring while playing the flute. Lots of illithids today.
Yeah. That's probably a Baldur's Gate influence, right?
Wow. Is it food time? Okay. Hold on, Skip Cat's yelling at me. Give me a second. What can I do for you? What can I do for you?
The man on the right looks very nonchalant. Of course he does. He's got sword skills and spell skills. What could possibly go wrong? Oh, I broke his wrist. Guess that's how it can go wrong.
Skip Cat wanted to go outside. And his food bowl was full of ants. So to deal with that.
Interesting. I've never seen ants go after cat food before.
Oh yeah, no, all the time. Vine Flare. Assuming some kind of bard. What color are we doing? Red? Do you think he's like playing flute with his tendrils? I feel like that wouldn't be super good.
So he definitely got kicked out of Illithid society, like normal Illithid society, for being too frivolous, right?
It's just humming music into the elder brains. Stop.
If you put one more earworm in me, I'm gonna put 7 in you.
Where did the Robin Hood hat come from? Is it a bastardization of a real hat, or is it a real hat?
I'm not sure.
It's like tricorns exist. Robin Hood's hat is more like a, I guess, 2 points?
It's kind of like 1 point.
But it comes together in the front and the back, doesn't it?
I thought it like swooped around and was circular in the back.
Is it circular in the back?
I could be wrong. I don't know. I haven't looked at one in 7 years.
Into the Gungeon might be a good inspiration for things in D&D. It's a universe where everything is also a firearm. If that's the way you want to play D&D, yeah, go for it. The other bards really can't speak to their soul and mind. Looking at all your feelings and thoughts, crawl to their song. I guess so. I guess so.
This is kind of a sloppy drawing, but I'm also kind of digging the energy it's giving me.
It was looking good. I feel like I'm covered in ants now.
Ugh.
I think this might be the last one for me too. I have to rebuild my desk again. So I can get back to work.
For the 4th time.
It sucks. I really want some specific stuff from it, but it just doesn't work that well. I thought the pamphlet was a bunch of cigarettes for a second. That would be pretty funny.
That would be pretty funny.
Yeah. So if I was going to do a bard mind flayer, I think I would do something like a... I don't know if I'd do music. This is kind of where I'm going with it. Charming people to inspire them, or... I'm trying to think of what that would be. Kind of like a charlatan, but not really. Motivational speaker. You can do this. Hell yeah, I can.
I liked drawing on this paper texture today.
Yeah. People suggested that they liked that last time, so I'll probably start doing that more. And burn on my eyes so fast, which I think is good.
Yeah.
Performance via illusion. That's a good idea.
I think having the paper texture today also kind of helped me stay sketchier for longer.
Yeah.
Which, I guess for a refined drawing is not necessarily a good thing, but it helped me
That's good.
stay out of the weeds.
Yeah, we can keep doing it. Missions are open. If people are interested in commissions, please let me know on Discord. I'm gonna try to set up a and you can email me too, but I'm gonna try to set up a site where people can go and click and request submissions there. That'll be nice for people so they don't have to go to the Discord if they don't want to. Always a pleasure to. Yeah. A veggie pygmy bard named Robert Plant. Is that your suggestion for the week?
Robert Plant, like in context, looks like it's supposed to be a joke or a pun of some kind, but it's over my head. I've missed it, I think. Oh, Robert Plant was the lead singer of Led Zeppelin. Oh. Gotcha. No wonder I didn't get it. I am woefully out of touch with music culture. Hold on.
Okay. Tap. Are you posting stuff in Discord already? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I like to save my stuff out as I go. So,
That's fair.
yeah. I basically wrapped up my drawing and figured I would not wait.
My brain is just fried today. Funny Thor song band. Yeah, I don't know if I know many band names. I'm pretty bad about that stuff. Bad with names in general, so I'm not surprised that.
Yeah, I can barely keep track of the most famous A-list celebrities.
Okay. What else? I'm not sure what else to do with this guy. It's not quite 2 o'clock. I could probably do one more, but I always feel like when I try to do one more, I always just like burn through it. So I might just call it today.
Sounds good.
Do illithids have to eat brains to survive? That doesn't seem...
No.
Okay. That seems highly inefficient. Put 'em in the tube. We'll eat them later. Yeah. We did a fun stream on Monday. We did the short secret stream. We drew all the fire otters. If you'd like to see that, it's still up for YouTube members. Like to become a membership, you can see those. I'll also put up the tokens for those probably today or tomorrow. People can use lava otters in their games if they'd like. And then I'll have stickers out, hopefully, for them for the Patreon members here. Soon-ish. As soon-ish. I'll be selling those. I'll post those up so people can order them from me, too, if they want. I'm just going to wait until I get them first. So, hopefully that'll be fun. Otherwise, that's all I got for today, I think. I think I am going to call it, just because I'm burning out. I feel like I can't talk today. Keep screwing stuff up, so... They don't eat at least one living sentient brain per week. Their mucus layers of their skins begin to dry out. So they do just have to keep consuming people. That's messed up. Mind flayers are kind of nasty.
Yeah. I guess that's why they rely so much on slave trade.
Yep. And why everybody has a distaste for them.
Yeah.
Okie doke. That is where we're going to call it. Thanks again for hanging out today, everybody. I'm going to re-fiddle with my desk and go make some lunch. So, thanks again. Let's see if there's anybody we can raid here. Looks like there's nothing yet. Is that 5 o'clock? That's too far away. Okay. Well, thanks again. We'll catch everybody on Friday. Until then, go post something funny on your favorite video. And we'll catch you next time. Thanks again. Stay happy, stay healthy. Keep your dice on the table. We'll see you on Friday. Bye, everybody.
Bye.